Hey beekeepers, welcome back to the Hive Doctor. Today in this apiary I've got this colony right here that I relocated here about three days ago. I brought it here at night. It was a small colony that I didn't think that was going to make it. So I brought them home so I could take a little bit better care of them. So we're going to peek in this today together, see what I've got, kind of analyze what's going on and see how I can help them to grow and get better, if anything. So stick around. Hey beekeepers, so I'm here to see about helping a small, weak colony. Hopefully they've got a laying queen and there's enough bees to keep them going. It is springtime and we have plenty of maple pollen, a little bit of nectar coming in. So that's definitely on their side. Let's go ahead and bust this open and see what we've got going on. All right, we're gonna just take the quilting box and hive cover as one unit. So the first thing I notice is there are definitely very few bees in this. Looks like we got about 2 frames worth. There's some beetles running around. No doubt that it's going to be easy for them if I don't do something to help these bees help themselves. Okay, so we've got a lot of empty frames. I'm running 9 frames in this 10 frame box. Let's just start working our way in and inspect what kind of brood, if any, that we have. I'm really hoping that we have a laying queen, because if this colony made it through winter with a laying queen, I really feel that they have a chance. All right, there's some weight to this frame. It's one of the first 3 that there's bees on, and that looks really good. I do see beetle running around, like I said. My first thoughts are that we need to minimize the space that the bees have to take care of. I've got a lot of open nectar. Hopefully you can see the glint of that as I pass this frame back and forth. We got a lot of maple pollen scattered throughout. The bees are at work. They're docile. So that's good. A little bit of nectar on this side too, so they're starting on there. That means that they feel that they can expand, so that's a good sign. I'll bet that they do have a queen just based on their attitude. This frame's even heavier. Oh yeah, we've got some capped brood there. There's my queen. I'll bring her closer so you can see. She's still got a little bit of the green paint from her when I marked her as a new queen last year, 2024. There she is along my top bar. She looks good. She's nice and plump. And we've got, I mean, it's not the best looking brood. I have started mite treatments, but since I just brought this colony here, didn't think that they would make it. They've not been treated for mites yet this spring, so they're going to be getting that very soon, here in a couple of days. This frame's missing a bottom bar. Boy, that happens. This side, we've got some capped brood. All 3 stages are present. And you see that white part in the middle. That looks like some brood that they're cannibalizing. They may detect some varroa mite in that cell. And so they're bringing the brood out, the pupa. And that girl right there, she's actually licking it, like literally cannibalizing. Nothing goes to waste. So we definitely need to get mites under control here. You see the whitening of the comb here? I'm going to point it out with my hive tool. Bees do that to freshen up the comb. That's another sign of a colony that feels like they do have their feet under them. As an active forager with pollen on her legs. So I know my queen's on this side. I'm always try to stay aware of where my queen is when I'm putting frames back in. Let's look at this last frame here. And this looks just like the first frame. A lot of open nectar, incoming nectar, speckled throughout with some maple pollen. Workers busy. They haven't started over here. Got a little bit of web not from wax moth. It looks like something that lives in this box, like a spider. Okay, so let's talk about what we can do with this. So after going through this colony, assessing what they've got and what's coming in, I really feel like they have a fighting chance. At the moment, none of my other colonies can afford any brood or food. So what I'm going to do is put these girls into a 5-frame nuke box so that they have minimal space to have to protect and guard from wax moth, because we're getting warmer, and definitely from the beetle. So let's go ahead and do that. I have one of those Pro Nuke boxes left over from some nukes I got a few years ago. So what I'm going to do is bring my colony up. Whenever I do this, I always set my boxes on end so that the frames don't fall out. Okay, they're good. Got some dead bees from a few weeks ago. Some more cannibalized drone pupa. Let me bring you closer to see that. So here we got that white that's been cannibalized. Just another indicator that we need to get mites under control. Got some hive beetle. Not anymore, suckers. Okay. All right, this equipment is something I can deal with later. Right now we just need to get them situated into their new home here. And because of the width of my hive stand, it's not quite wide enough for me to put this on here without it slipping through. So what I'm going to do is use the hive cover from their colony. Not this one. This one. Set it down flat. Set the nuke box in place. Let's open it up. And it's pretty clean inside. I'm already ready to put everything back in. So I'm going to tilt this to where I can work out of it. I'm grabbing my middle frame here. You know what? I'm going to pause on that. Just bring you guys around so you can see the whole thing. Okay, so here's my 3 frames. I'm going to go ahead and pull the middle because it's easiest. And just verify that my queen is still on the frame, since I did have them on the ground. Yep, there she is right there. Okay, putting them right in the middle. And then the other 2 are easy. I'm going to put them just as they were, as outside frames, up against the brood here. Last one. And then I'm going to take the best looking comb from the box. They weren't even using it yet, but I want the better comb to give them. And that's going to be this one. That one's even still got pollen in it. And this comb. It's not as dark. You can tell it's had brood in it, but not a lot. And I'm going to sandwich them just like so. And then there's just still a few more bees inside the box here. And what I like to do is just set this on end, because we're getting near sundown and the bees will naturally leave this, take flight, and find their home right here in the 5-frame nuke box. All right, now we're just going to get the lid on here. And these have like this hole in the lid. It tells you whether you've got it vented if you put it this way, or not vented. I like ventilation in my colonies. And so right now they're set up and they're good. Now I'll probably just tidy up the rest of this equipment, get it to where, you know, the weather's not going to affect it, no rain gets in my frames. I always like to put the frames that I'm not using from a colony back into somewhere, fill a box, and cover it with a hive cover. So that's it today. They've got some good weight to them. I feel that they're going to be all right. And in a couple of weeks, in a week or 2, when I come back and check this, more of that brood will have emerged, hopefully. But I'll be getting a mite treatment on them really soon, so they won't be cannibalizing that brood so much, so they can actually start growing and building instead of the opposite. So when it comes to this kind of thing, when you're trying to help a weaker colony, there's a lot of options. This is just one of them. And I think this lid is somehow designed to be able to feed. I've never utilized that function, so I'm not quite sure how it works without looking it up. Ideally, it'd be great to get some feed on them since I didn't give them any resources from another colony. And so that's about it today. I feel better that they're in a more confined space that they can maintain. I think they'll feel better. They don't have to guard so much. So that's it. Appreciate you guys joining me today. See you in the next video.